Thank you for tuning into this episode of MIO Life. I am your host, Jen Fox, and we have a special guest here today, Andrew. Andrew is a busy father of 3, and today he's going to tell us about the fitness tool that helps him keep in shape.
Thanks, Jen. Thanks for having me on the show. Here I have a MIO Stride, which I'm going to demonstrate how to set up and how to use, with your help, of course.
Great. Okay, before we get started, do you want to go through a little bit what this watch is used for?
The MIO Stride and the MIO Stride Petite is a heart rate watch that helps walkers get a little bit more out of their workout. Not only does it track your speed, calories, steps gone, and your distance, it's also a heart rate monitor, which helps you get a little bit more out of your workout.
Great. Wow, that sounds like an all-in-one fitness tool. Let's get started with the setup.
If your watch comes with a black security tag, you can cut it off before we begin. Let's start by setting the time. Press the mode button to reach the time screen. Then press and hold down the same button to begin to set the time. The seconds will begin to flash. Use the plus and minus buttons to adjust the seconds and then press set to confirm. Repeat for minutes and the hour. Next, the year will flash. Use the plus and minus buttons again to select the year and press set to confirm. Repeat the same steps for month, day, and then select the month-day format you would like the watch to use. You can also toggle between 12 and 24-hour clock. In this setting, you can also choose to have the key tone on or off. At any point, you can press and hold the set button to complete and exit the setup mode. The setup process is the same for the dual time mode, which lets you set in another time, which is great if you're traveling and you want to remember the time in another time zone.
All right, now that we have the time set up, what are we going to set up next?
Well, the next piece to set up is very similar to the time, and that is the alarm. Press the mode button until you reach the alarm screen. Press and hold down the same button until you see the hours begin to flash. Use the plus and minus buttons to change the hours, and then repeat for the minutes. Once the alarm time is set, use the plus and minus buttons to toggle the alarm icon on and off.
All right, now that we have 2 things set up, what else can this watch do?
Well, there are 2 different timers on this watch that help you keep track of your workout. The first timer is a chronograph, which counts up. The other is a timer which you can set to count down.
All right, well, that all seemed pretty easy. Let's get to the more complicated stuff. How do you personalize this watch?
Well, start by pressing the mode button until you get to the screen that says off. Press and hold the set button. The first screen says high. This is where you can set your maximum heart rate. Use the plus and minus buttons to adjust and then press set to confirm. Repeat this for setting your low heart rate. Generally, for the most effective intensity of exercise, you want to keep your heart rate at about 60 to 80% of your maximum heart rate. If you don't know your max heart rate, all you need to do is exercise at the maximum intensity, with your doctor's permission of course, for about 10 minutes, and then take your heart rate immediately following the session.
All right, well, this all makes sense. What's next?
The next screen will read unit, and you can toggle between metric and imperial. Then you will set your weight, height, and stride length in the units that were chosen. This will be used to ensure accuracy for the pedometer. One last piece to customize your MIO watch is to set the resting heart rate. Press the mode button until you reach the resting heart rate screen. Now make sure you set your resting heart rate first thing in the morning when your heart rate is at its lowest. An average resting heart rate is 70. The more in shape you are, the lower the number will be. Your doctor will be able to tell you more information on what a good goal is based on your age, weight, and gender.
Okay, how do you find the pedometer mode on this watch?
In the time mode, press the button that has the walking person. You can also use this button to return back to the time mode at any time. To turn the pedometer on or off, press the yellow Stop/Start button, and you will see a walking person appear on the bottom corner of the watch. Press the mode button to scroll through the calorie, speed, and distance screens. You can do this while you're moving too at any time to check your stats.
Okay, so what about heart rate? Is it accurate?
Yes, all MIO heart rate watches are medically accurate, just like getting your heart rate taken at your doctor's. The key is to keep your arms steady for a few seconds and keep your arms below your heart. It's also important not to tense your muscles, as this might interfere with the ECG reading. Now keep your arms down until you hear the beep. Now let's try it out on you. Now put your fingers on the sensors and wait for the beep.
Okay, it says 75 and 41%. So what does that mean?
Good question. The big number is your heart rate, in this case 75. The smaller number is your percentage of maximum heart rate.
Wow, there's nothing this watch can't do. Thank you so much for joining us today, Andrew, and thank you for tuning in. For more exercise and health tips, join us on Twitter and Facebook. And tune in next